Hello and welcome to Sunflower Pie, which I don't know what this is. I had it on my Steam playlist for some reason. I was like, why did I have this? And apparently it's a short visual novel, and it's apparently about a parasitic sunflower and her loyal son. And so the categories are psychological horror and horror. So I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I honestly don't even remember when I actually downloaded this game, so I'm like, okay, look, it's already in my list. I might as well just play it. There has to be a reason why past me decided to download this game. And so, without further ado, grab a cup of coffee and let's get going with Sunflower Pie. So apparently it'll be 25 minutes. Oh, that's an interesting start. The smell of burning skin pulls me from my bed sheets. A pair of hungry sunflowers amass in a tight little cluster outside my window. They stare at me with wide, unblinking eyes. Oliver, breakfast is ready. It's not polite to keep the cook waiting. If it was up to me, I'd sleep forever. But in this house, your dreams end as soon as breakfast is ready. No exceptions. Say something so I know you're still alive. I pulled the locks off my door ages ago, so I need to get up before Mom takes any serious action. I feel like... okay, that's not great. Look, I'm not even a parent. I'm not even close to being a parent. But I feel like privacy is one of those things that everyone should have the right to, right? So especially if it's your child, right? This is not exactly the best thing. It's not like she hasn't done it before either. Standing cross-armed in the middle of the room while I scramble to find a pair of socks, or pants, or underwear. Shame is an excellent motivational tool, after all. Oh, and so is fear. Any negative emotion is a excellent motivational tool. Funnily enough, I found out the best way to avoid those situations altogether was to just sleep in jeans and a t-shirt. Yeah, that should not happen. Sure, it's uncomfortable, but at least this way I can leave the room whenever I want. But why jeans? At least wear like joggers or something. Sweatpants. And as long as I look presentable, that's more than enough for me. For them. I just gotta not mess this up. Sliding on a pair of flip-flops, I make my way into the kitchen. The stench here is overpowering, but at least it's familiar. Mom waits for me with a tray of something in her left hand. Good morning, sunshine. Happy Sunday. Make sure to finish this before Judith picks you up for church, okay? She aggressively slides the tray across the table. The head of a massive sunflower stares at me from a cradle of flaky pie crust. Eat your breakfast, Oliver. Please don't make me. You put something in this, didn't you? The only thing I put in it was my motherly love. Now stop whining like you're some... I am not gonna read that out. A sucking toddler and eat. A web-like structure glistens between the flesh of the flour and the pie crust. It looks sharp, like the gills of a suffocating fish. Did your support group tell you to feed me this? Okay, yeah. Yes, Mother. Good boy. I don't care what Miss Lawrence says. Autism is no excuse for being a picky eater. Well, everyone has their own taste. And besides, something tells me you'll feel much less picky after you start trying new things. Obviously. As I grab my fork, the unblinking eye of the sunflower starts to twitch a little. Every petal begins slowly folding towards the center. There's only one way out of this, isn't there? I fold my tongue into the back of my throat and get... Oh, thank the Lord. Ooh, that must be Judith then. Can't keep my future daughter-in-law waiting, can I? Wasting not a second of her time, Mom scuttles out of the kitchen. I grab a special from the cupboard and rush her sunflower pie to the garbage disposal. There was a bit of a struggle at first, but eventually I managed to press all of it down into the void. Thin yellow ribbons start to stretch out of the hole as I flick on the switch next to the sink. The vortex of blades make quick work of my breath. How's that garbage disposal? Turning on the sink to help drown out the noise and wash the spatula, I sprinkle a few crumbs and twitching petals back into the aluminum, yeah, that's aluminum, pie tin. Do you guys say aluminum or do you guys say aluminium? Because that's two very different things. Not the most convincing display of a well-eaten breakfast, but it's better than nothing. I wait a believable amount of time before entering the living room. Instead of Judith, though, Miss Lawrence is the one waiting for me on the couch. Ah, there's my star pupil. I know I haven't been around much this week, but I hope you and Violet have been enjoying your last few days as seniors. You must be, considering how much time they've been spending together. Sure hope a certain... What the heck is this story? Jesus Christ, what did I download? Sure hope a certain someone's niece doesn't end up getting pregnant. Autism and epilepsy would be quite the combo, wouldn't it? Oh, Dolly, what's the harm in letting kids be kids? How... What the heck is happening here? What the balls is happening? What the heck is... this is a fever dream. What is going on here? They're both 18, hardly children anymore, don't you think? I don't like you all that much. Well, they're not exactly adults either. Lighten up. Maybe go out on the patio and mow a little bit of grass. Miss Lawrence takes a stray $20 bill off the table and hands my mother a bag of grass clippings. Mom rolls her eyes and stuffs the plastic baggie behind the folds of her blouse. Is that... Are those drugs? Whatever you say, Louise. Sunday's the best is a day of rest, right? Miss Lawrence is here to take you to church, Oliver. Apparently, the Helvig family is having car troubles, with all three of their Corvettes and Judith's minivan. Horrible luck, really. If you're out here, then assume that means you finished your breakfast. Yes, Mother. It tasted just like sunflower pie. Good. Go put on something more respectable before you leave. You're going to a place of worship, not another one of you and Ashton's little I can't say that. Crappy punk shows. Run along now, Oliver. Ta-ta. Oh, and one more thing. Say goodbye to your father before you go. You spent a lot of time in the backyard yesterday. He needs to check you for ticks. Yes, ma'am. Oh, hi, Dad. What do you want? I'm going to church and then spending some time with Violet. I wouldn't be back for a bit, so... Come closer. I do as I'm told and move closer to him on the bed. I see the candle lighter next to us on the dresser and begin holding my breath. Oh, he's a smoker? Ew. You're clean. Have fun with your girlfriend. Oh, thanks, Dad. Oh, I'll be home later. Be safe. I don't know how, like, my voice isn't raspy enough for, like, a nice smoker voice. Dad folds into himself and goes back to sleep. I eye the candle lighter next to him one more time and take a deep breath. Miss Lawrence declines to stay for coffee and escorts me out the door. Ah, Christ on a cracker. What on earth happened to you, Dolly? Miss Lawrence pinches the bridge of her nose and sighs. Ah, sorry. That was unprofessional of me. Are you doing alright, kiddo? I feel like I'm having a nightmare. Thank you for getting me out of there. Thank you for lying to her. I know that's something you're not exactly a fan of doing, but it made my job like 10 times easier. Believe me, she wasn't nearly this horrible back in high school. Maybe it's just easier to be well behaved when you're wide awake. Or you don't have the burden of parenthood to blame for every little thing that bothers you. But enough of that, let's get you where you need to go. Oh, yikes. Miss Lawrence lets the Helvig twins, Judith and Andy, know that I'm on my way to their house. She says that Violet will be waiting at our normal spot on the beach once I'm done with everything else. She urges me to enjoy my time with her. Other than Andy ducking out for a jog mid-sermon, church is normal as normal can be. And after a wonderful lunch with my very normal friend, very normal sweet tea, and exceptionally sweet biscuits, Judith and I find ourselves alone in her bedroom. It's just not fair. You're skinny, but it's not like you're starving yourself. There's no reason you should be allowed to prepare your own meals. Judith, the oldest of twins. The girl who's been my best friend for as long as I can remember. For her, speaking is easy. I close my eyes and take a deep, healing breath. Thank you, Judith. But it's no big deal, really. Yes, it is, Oliver. Look, sunflower pie is probably the newest homeopathic craze sweeping the nation. Her support group likely recommended it to her after browsing the internet for like 5 minutes. This will pass just like any other fad. It's whatever. They're trying to cure you again. I can only shrug. Judith's hands curl into petite little shaky fists. She's delusional. Sunflower pie? Seriously? I think this would be a good time for me to mention that I'm actually allergic to sunflower seeds. This would kill me instantly. Whoever Mother thinks she's feeding you, it doesn't exist. And even if it did, it shouldn't matter. You don't need a cure. You've never needed a cure. You've kept me in your life since we were children, and that's no accident. It's clear Miss Lawrence did a good job teaching you, so why do your parents even care? I really don't know why they care. But they do. You can't really change what people care about. Yeah, that's fair. Me, on the other hand, I care too little about things. It doesn't matter if I've improved. Not really. They won't stop caring until I'm either normal or dead. That's just the way it is. Or... Judith begins anxiously chewing the side of her thumb. Or what? Or until they think you're dead. Excuse me? Come live with me. Live with you? At least until the summer ends and you and Violet go to college. You know I can't do that. Why not? It feels dishonest. Oliver, they're only going to get more insane the closer you get to moving out for good. But my parents are cops. We can keep you hidden. I'll keep you safe. You don't understand. What don't I understand? It's dishonest in more ways than one. I don't like lying to people. Oh, I actually have that tick as well. It's like, even though I'm like, oh, this is gonna get me killed, I still accidentally say the truth. I'm like, crap. Damn you, mouth. That's the reason? Don't be selfish. If anything happens to you because of them, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. Don't say things like that. Please. I'm not your responsibility. Of course you are. Judith, please. I'm not gonna yell. Judith's hands jolt away from me and slowly curl back into her lap. She looks meekly at her feet. Damn it. I'm shouting again. Damn it. I shouldn't have said anything. What's the point in being able to speak if I'm just going to keep losing control? What's the point in talking if it just creates more chances for Judith to hate me? I feel a deep wave of shame pass over me as I look her way. Okay, I don't have that. I don't think so. I don't think I do that. I'm sorry. Look, I didn't mean to yell at you. No, it's fine. I was yelling too, I guess. Besides, I'm sure she yells at you all the time. It's normal. That's no excuse. It's not your fault. A person's home should be a place to rest and relax. I know I changed the phrasing of that, but whatever. It should be safe. You just need a calmer environment, I'm sure. So let me help you. See, that's what I'm talking about. Huh? You're sure that's what I need? You're confident about it. Everybody always has these conflicting opinions about what I need. My parents, Miss Lawrence, you. Everybody's confident they know what's best for me. And maybe they really do. Maybe I really am that stupid. But I don't think there's a way to make all three of you happy. Not without becoming something else entirely. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible to give everybody what they want. I feel Judith scoot closer to me on the bed. This isn't the first time she's hugged me on a Sunday afternoon, but it is the first time it hasn't made me feel any better. No matter what you become, you'll always be my best friend. You give me so much by being that, Oliver. Isn't that obvious? She really is a wonderful person. Truly, I'm lucky to have someone like Judith in my life. But it doesn't matter if she's wonderful. It doesn't matter if her intentions are good. Because right now, her hug is just another gift. A meticulously planned gift to make me feel better. It's all sunflower pie. All of it. So I assume in this instance, sunflower pie refers to like a cure for his neurodivergence, right? That's what this is. And that's sort of like a forcing of choices upon like what they think like normal people sort of perceive neurodivergent people as. And I need to start preparing my own meals. He needs to start making his own choices. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Otherwise, I'm just nerd-tick. I need to go. Already? Yeah, I'm sorry. But there's someone I need to talk to for a bit. You mean Violet, don't you? She's waiting for you, isn't she? You're gonna live with her instead, aren't you? No, it's not like that. You don't need to lie to make me feel better. She's your girlfriend after all, it makes sense. You know I'm not lying, it's just... I get up from my bed and make my way toward the door. She's the only one of us that doesn't know what's best for me. She's the only one that doesn't force any choices on Oliver. I think I need a little bit of that right now, don't you? I see. My offer still stands. It doesn't matter where you are, we really are, or what this really is. My offer still stands. Please, if you ever feel like moving out, just remember, you'll always be safe here. I'll do whatever I can to make this place your home. I promise. There are many safe ways to remove a tick from your body, apparently. Emil told me about them recently. He told me last time He told me last time him, Ashton, and I went camping, spinning around it with a cotton swab, gently using tweezers. Even basic soap and water works if you're patient enough. As time goes on, our species continues to find more creative solutions to each and every problem we face. The list of ways to effectively and safely remove a parasite from your body will likely grow and grow. But these are things a 6-year-old doesn't really know. When you're 6 years old, you just have to trust your parents that everything will be fine. So when your father says that the only way to kill that tick you picked up in the backyard is to burn it off, oh. Well, why wouldn't you believe him? That's referring to his neurodivergence. You don't think about how needlessly large the flame from the candle lighter is. Oh. I see. See, this is actually partially why my parents actually don't know that I'm actually neurodivergent. My psychologist, my psychiatrist do. And I was like, please don't tell them. Please do not tell them. You can tell them in like vague terms that will allude to it, but don't straight up tell them, because they're Asian parents and they will. That's my biggest fear, right? You don't think about simply heating up a needle instead. You don't think about how the dirt feels against your cheek as he presses you into it. You don't question these things. You just do as you're told. You stare up at the sunflowers your mother just planted, their hungry eyes glaring at your warmth and your blood like the rising Florida sun. But thankfully, you don't stay 6 years old forever. Thankfully, you change. You learn. It's unavoidable. Nobody knows that better than Violet, the girl who had to grow up faster than any of us. Nobody's better at helping you think of a creative solution to your problems. It's one of the many reasons why I love her. It's why... No. Oh, I'm not gonna yell this out. God damn it, no. I can't, no, I can't yell this out. Violet turns towards my voice. She crawls towards me in the sand, a second pair of limbs twisting around her neck. Her voice is smothered by thick roots and stale blood. Oliver, please, run. She collapses in the sand as countless sunflowers shoot happily out of her spine. Her body stops moving, but only for a second. Hungry, the newborns turn their budding heads not towards the sun, but to me. Violet's limbs start moving again. I feel my face begin to swell with tears. You! What did you do to her? I did nothing. She was already covered in ticks. She was already sick. It's nobody's fault. Shut up! I grab the candle lighter in my pocket and jab it into his leathery gut. I rest my finger on the trigger and stare into his unblinking eye as Violet's corpse shuffles towards us. What the heck? Do it. Bite the hand that feeds. It doesn't matter. You are still covered in ticks. You will always be diseased. I feel my blood begin to boil, but then, like cold water rolling over dry, hot sand, something changes. I begin to feel myself age. I feel clean. I pull the candle lighter out of his gut and look at Violet. The wet tears in my eyes begin to clear the heat from my vision. Whatever. That word means nothing coming from you. Face too swollen to talk anymore, I turn away from him for good and begin running back to Judith's house. Judith! I frantically search around the living room. A heavy thumping comes from upstairs. My mother stands in the middle of the bedroom with a hungry tin of sunflower pie. Behind her bookcase, I can see Judith hiding it with a rather large butcher's knife. You didn't finish your breakfast. Why am I not surprised? I bet it tasted like sweaty dumpster fudge anyway, you hack. Judith makes her presence known. Even so, Mom continues walking towards me, her petals reaching outward with every step. Stupid girl. I was gonna let you marry him. But now, I think he needs a little more time at home, don't you? You don't get this like that. Before I can say anything, Judith leaps out from behind the bookcase and drives the knife into my mother's back. Even so, Mom doesn't even seem fazed. This isn't good. Damn it. I rush over to try and help Judith, but before I can, both her and the knife are flung away with astounding force. Judith hits the bed frame and tumbles into the mattress. I instinctively rush over the bed and try to move Judith on her side. She shakes my hands off her body and begins looking around the room. Don't worry about me. Where's the knife? Where's the knife? Judith grabs my chest and pulls me closer to her on the bed. Crap. You're completely incompetent, Oliver. Can't you see that friends like her will always feed from you until they're full? Shut up. You lay a finger on him and your friggin' pig food. My, what a foul mouth. And from such a sweet-looking girl? How curious. See, Oliver, you can't be recognized when somebody is taking advantage of you. And that's because they root themselves in the back of your neck. That's why you need us to point them out, to burn them off of your body. Mom lifts the sunflower pie towards my face. Now, eat your breakfast. Something loud cracks the air, through the air, and a second time, a third, a fourth, a fifth. Sorry, I tried my best to do dying noises. Miss Lawrence stands in the doorway, smoke billowing from the tip of a revolver. There are tears in her eyes. Good Lord, Dolly. What happened to you? Mom grabs her chest and falls into the space between Judith and Andy's bed. As she does, Judith leaps up and moves to the sunflower pie. It squeals in agony as she repeatedly crushes it under her heels. Enough. Both of you. Get away from her, now. The two of you are nearly lucid enough. That will only slow her down at best. Judith rolls her eyes and leaps over the bed frame. She finds her knife stuck in the wall and pulls out with a flick of her wrist. Miss Lawrence wipes her sleeve over her face and shakes her head. Already, Mom is beginning to claw at the side of the bed and pull herself up. What the balls? Miss Lawrence looks at me with conviction and places the revolver in my hand. Don't worry about Violet. None of this is as bad as you think it is. Oliver, I need you to... I can't say those words. I need you to unalive yourself. Excuse me? Remember everything you experienced tonight as you do. Hold on to it. Learn from it. And I swear no harm will come to you. Are you insane? Oliver, do not do something like that. We need to kill this lady now. Judith and I will find a different way to get out of here. This is your lesson. You need to act while these feelings are still fresh. You cannot be serious. You are dealing with matters far beyond the scope of basic human understanding, Miss Helvig. Trust me, this is the only way for any good to come out of this. Oliver, don't listen to her. This is real. If you unalive yourself, you're going to die. Stop distracting him. The gun feels heavy in my hand. Unaliving or unaliving someone else. Those are my options. That's what I've been given. Those are my gifts. Mom kneels on the ground next to the smashed remains of her sunflower pie. I can't make everyone happy around me. as much. Wait, I can't make everyone around me happy as much as I want to. I can't prevent myself from changing either, it seems. And sometimes, well, as much as it sucks, there really is only one good solution to a problem. Maybe this is it. At least this way, if I change, there's a chance I'll change into something I can live with. I place the gun on my bed and kneel next to my mother. Hey. She's crying, obviously. I'm sorry. I know you probably worked hard on that. My mom looks up from the floor. You're a picky eater, Oliver. I shouldn't be surprised. You always have been, ever since you were a kid. I know. I'm not a kid anymore. I just want you to try something new. I know. Listen, Mom, I don't think I can live with you and Dad anymore. I know it's going to be new and scary, but I'm 18 now. I think I'm ready. I need you to be ready too. What I have is almost certainly genetic, which means, as much as she doesn't want to admit it, Mom probably has just as hard of a time as I do. As hard a time with change as I do. She's always been terrified of things she isn't prepared for, at least to some degree. Even so, every child should strive to be a better version of their parents. Not necessarily. They can strive to be better than their parents, not better versions of their parents, because that sort of dismisses yourself as an iteration of your parent, which isn't true. You don't have the same experiences as your parents. You certainly don't have the same memories as your parents. You're not a better version. But what you can do is they can take the lessons they impart to you, the lessons that you've either learned on your own from observing them, or lessons that you've been imparted on, right? And then from there, you improve yourself. You're not necessarily a better version of your parents. You're a better, you just strive to be better in general than your parents. So I owe this to her. I owe this to myself. She didn't say anything. Am I cooked, chat? Am I really doing the right thing here? I moved closer to her on the floor and put my hand on her shoulder. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Perfectly. Why is it? What the hell is happening here? That was very well spoken. Good job, son. What the heck is happening here? Don't try to help me anymore. I need a couple of months alone. Maybe even a couple of years. So, don't come looking for me. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? She nods. I grab a chunk of sunflower pie off the floor. I rest in my hand, limp and lifeless. Okay. Mom and I worked together to pick up all of it on the floor and put it in Judith's wastebasket. Once we're done, I help her off the floor as well. What the heck is happening? Okay then, I'm going now. I'm sorry it has to be this way. She nods, unable to make eye contact with me anymore. I begin my way to the door. Your hair. You used to have such beautiful curly hair. I was so happy when I saw you ended up getting it from me. So why'd you get rid of it? Why? Why did I straighten my hair? It's hard to remember the exact reason, but that's okay. I move in and give my mom a gentle hug. Because I wanted to. It still curls on its own every now and then though, don't worry. It's always going to be there. He hugs me back. That's fine then, I guess. Good. Bye, Mom. Yeah, goodbye, son. Stay safe. There's no way for me to know how much of that was real. Then again, it doesn't really matter. I know what I need to do now. Okay, this is catching me off guard. What the hell is happening here? Why is everyone suddenly an anime lady? Okay, it's done. I suppose it is then. It's time to just be homeless for a while. Siren's Call, Florida is a nice town, and there's lots of places on the beach where that's the wrong where I could sleep. It's not like I have that much to carry around either. I'm certain I could pull it off, at least until college. Something tells me the solitude would give me plenty of time to make sense of all this. It would give me time to write. However, why is everybody an anime girl right now? Help. This is catching me off guard, and I'm not necessarily, Oliver, I know your offer still stands. Thank you. I walk out the door into the morning light. Surprisingly, no one. The Florida sun is delightfully oppressive. Just give me a day or two to sleep on it, okay? Okay, so apparently this game is meant to be sort of a prequel to that. Which is cool. I don't So I really do like the representation of like neurodiversity here. It definitely does help, because a lot of people still do perceive it as like something to be fixed, which is a very not a great thing, because like it's not something you can easily fix, right? It's not something you can fix in general. It's just the way that our brains are hardwired, right? And also a lot of how people tend to interpret, like there are a lot of, like, I feel like a lot of people would probably say a lot of Asians are neurodivergent, but a lot of things is also cultural as well. Like you don't necessarily speak out loud and all that stuff. So I don't know, neurodiversity is sort of this very, I don't know, it's a pretty big umbrella term right now, and it's gonna take a lot more research, I think, to really sort of pinpoint and to really sort of define everything, because again, culture plays a role in how people behave, and maybe sometimes people might misinterpret that as like, oh, you're neurodivergent, all that stuff. And there's also like, yeah, no, it's just like we all have our own tics, we all have our own qualities, right? So, but I do genuinely think that this is a good representation of it. I don't fully get some of the stuff. Like, I don't understand what happened to Violet. Like, is she actually dead? Like, what happened to her? So obviously here we have two parents who are trying to fix their son, quote unquote fix their son from neurodiversity, or as they phrase it, autism. I don't know why I said that weirdly. Yeah. I'm still trying to piece together some stuff. See, my problem is near the end. The mom suddenly just goes like, oh, okay. And then everything's rainbow and sunshines. And that's like, what? No. What? What? It's so bizarre. And then the anime sprites suddenly appeared, and it was like the biggest change in style that completely caught me off guard. I was just overall the end was where it actually started to lose me, because of that weird like parents suddenly redemption arc. Well, I wouldn't call it redemption arc, but it was like she was suddenly like very accepting of Oliver's flaws. And then there's also like it's like it was just bizarre in general. I didn't really like the end. Throughout like the center of the game, I was like, oh, this is intriguing. This is like accurate representation of like neurodivergence. And then near the end, it just sort of fell apart for me. So it was just very bizarre. It was just like, yeah. But overall, I think this has been, at least the center part up until the very end, has been a good representation of like neurodivergence and sort of a coming of age story, because they do mention a couple of times that they're 18, right? That they're starting to grow into their own. But yeah, it's like the aspects of like child abuse suddenly disappear, because like we know for a fact that they're very controlling, they're very like manipulative, right? And then that suddenly all fades away like in an instant. That's my problem with Near the End. So that was very bizarre to me as well. But yeah, overall I think like up until the last 5 minutes, phenomenal. But then near the end it was just very bizarre. I'm probably not going to play the full game, which is Siren's Call Escape Velocity, mainly because it seems like it's still in that anime style, which I'm like, I don't know if I really want to commit to that in the first place. It's a very bizarre looking thing. Like, I'm not sure if I want that. Because the first thing that drew me to this game was the style. So then the fact that they lose it for like a typical anime style, I'm like, oh, but why would you do that? Why? So yeah, it was really near the end. I'm like, guys, please, why? But yeah, I think that about wraps up for Sunflower Pie. It was very solid until it wasn't, but overall, good work. Good work for the representation for neurodivergence and all that stuff. But yeah, I think that about wraps up for me today. Thanks for hanging out with me. And yeah, see you guys next time. Yeah, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when and where you are. And see you guys next time. Bye bye. See you and take care. Bye.